Hi, this is Jack Duvall coming to you from high atop the Bantam Media building. Broadcasting today about Boeing. What a disaster this stock has been, and just the complete ruination of one of the great American industrial champions. So there was news out yesterday, March 25th, 2024. That CEO Calhoun was let go. The chairman's not coming back. Calhoun's going to leave at the end of the year. And the guy in charge of commercial aircraft is gone right away. Okay, market gapped up. You can see this candle here. And then closed basically almost on the low. Then it fell again today. The market's not buying this. This is complete BS. Why? This is about 10% of what needs to be done to remedy this, maybe even like 2%. First of all, they got to just jettison the entire board. What a joke. Everybody who's not an engineer on the board needs to go, period, right now. Second of all, they need to bring back all these line managers that they, or I should say production line managers and supervisors that they, forced out or made take early retirement, because these people knew how to make the best planes the universe has ever known. Then they brought in younger people because they could pay them less, and those people don't have the experience. Just a disaster. Financially, sure, it works. In the long term, doors start flying off of planes mid-flight. That's a bad trade, man. And now we've got this, essentially it's just a crippled company. It's just like GE. They've ruined it. Jack Welch ruined GE before anybody even knew about it. But then a few years later, that happened and he became kind of a joke. Somebody who had been thought of as one of the greatest managers in U.S. corporate history just turned out to be a guy who was doing accounting gimmicks because he had a financial company. And as everybody knows, if you have a financial company, you can tweak the earnings to hit the number every single quarter until, of course, it all blows up. And that's what happened at GE, and that's what's happened at Boeing. So what's going to happen now is Boeing is going to be broken apart. How do I know this? Well, they fired everybody in their strategy group a long time ago. All the different lines had different strategy groups. They let them all go. They don't have strategy. They don't have a plan. They don't have execution. They don't have anything. And now they're bleeding cash and nobody wants to buy their planes, and they haven't had a new plane in forever. And Airbus is just eating their lunch. Let's take a look at this chart. This is Airbus versus Boeing since the end of 2020. Well, Airbus is up over 90% in that time. That's the orange line here. Boeing, down over 12%, 102% difference. The French are going to eat our lunch in manufacturing for defense and commercial aerospace. Man, it's just unbelievable. So they're going to have to put Boeing out to pasture. Now, do not buy this stock thinking that they're going to split it up and it'll pop when they make the announcement. I'm sure it will, but don't do that. This thing could be a flaming dumpster fire for another year. I don't know. Who knows how long? 2 years. Who knows? This board is crazy. And they're, by the way, how crazy are they? They let the guy go who was in charge of commercial aircraft, and they put the COO in charge. A numbers person and not an engineer. Come on, man. It's just ludicrous. And everybody who gets on a Boeing now to fly is, making gallows humor that they hope the whole thing doesn't, disassemble in midair. So anyway, this thing's going to go. They'll sell off the parts. There's probably some great parts in here. The defense parts, I think, are fine. I'd be a buyer of those, depending on which ones, how they package it all up. Well, even if they package the whole thing together, I'd probably be interested in it. But until then, I would just say stay away. Do not be tempted by this. These guys are hemorrhaging cash everywhere. This is not a good value play. There's no catalyst. The only catalyst is they detonate the whole thing, and you can pick through the carcass and buy the parts that are still good. Anyway, hope that was interesting. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news on a former American industrial champion, but that's what happens.